I have the compression secret that's going to help you start to pure these irons. We know we all hate that feeling of it being glancy, it being thin, and those terrible fat shots. This is my trick. Look how far ahead we are. And that's what I typically see, that trying to get and cover the golf ball, right palm, smash it into the shaft, right palm. So for this drill, what we're gonna need is a chair. So if you're at home right now, this has got you covered. Nice and simple. So what we've got to imagine is, to compress this golf ball, we want a few factors. Hips open, shoulders a little bit open, and hands ahead of the golf ball. So many golfers get in that position where it's more this way, or they get the hips ahead, lower half, upper half starts to really fall backwards. It's hard to create that compression. I know we've all heard that term of get that chest over the golf ball, hit down on that golf ball. But it's really important that we do it the right way. So this is how I want you to do it. What we're gonna need is, take your golf club away, put the chair, and this is really key here, put the chair just inside your left heel. So you can see here, the back end of the chair just inside my left heel. It's gonna be ahead of where I want it to be. So we're gonna move that golf ball into that same position. Remember, this is a drill. What I want you to feel is, and I see this traditionally, too many golfers get that ball back in our stance. We have to try and find the golf ball. I want you to picture that we're going to move onto the golf ball. And this is going to use this term, let's frame the ball. I want you to feel as though your hips or your middle of your pelvis is just ahead of the golf ball and the middle of your chest is just behind the golf ball. So to feel that, get the chair lined up. That's basically our golf ball. Left hand out in front of us, hook the right hand underneath. What I want you to feel is you're going to swing to the top. Lower half's going to go 5% shift, 95% turn, in. I want you to get the feeling of you being able to get your glove hand to really give the chair a little bit of force. So to really give the chair a little bit of force. If I'm hips go forward, chest behind, not going to make a lot of force. If I'm moving it all together, I'm not going to be able to create that force. And if I don't square up that face, I'm going to get this part of my hand to hit the chair, not this. So what we're really trying to feel is this. And I would stand there creating that feeling. So what does that feeling look like when we take the chair out? Taking that chair away, this is what we want to feel, and I'm talking about that framing. Hips slightly ahead of the ball, chest on the back edge. So we draw two lines now. These lines are just a golf ball width apart. It's not this way, or it's not this way. I look at this drill as kind of working on separation, but also working on compression. And I really like that feeling of being able to backhand it into the chair, create the most force that we can. So to hit this ball away, what I'm going to ask you to do is move this golf ball up 2 or 3 balls in your stance. Remember, this is a drill, doesn't necessarily have to do on the golf course, but by all means, if you start compressing those irons, give it a try. So I've moved that ball 2 balls up in my stance. I'm going to get that feeling of framing the golf ball, rotating and turning onto it. So if we showed you this on the face-on video, taking advantage of this class setup here at Bramall Park. Thanks, Craig. So what I want to do right now is show you that drill from the face-on perspective using this. So I'm going to place that ball a little bit up in my stance, and I'm going to get that feeling of moving onto the golf ball, hips slightly ahead, chest behind the golf ball, and show you, hopefully, what framing this ball looks like. But also, I think it's important that we show you the other 2 aspects of what we don't want to see, because when you're looking to create your own swing, we need to know what good, bad and bad is, so we can find that middle ground. Okay, so here we go, ball up in our stance. I've got 6 iron here, I've got it a long way up in my stance. You're going to see this in a second. Feeling of moving onto the golf ball and framing it. Really get that compressed feeling. Here we go, a little bit left. Not a bad shot though, not a bad shot. So let's have a look at this at impact. Our ideal scenario is back, start our downswing, into impact. We have our hip line, centre of our hips, and then the centre of our chest, just slightly behind where the golf ball will sit here. So this is a pretty good effort. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people in the golf world that do it better than me. Ultimately what we're trying to get the feeling of. So let's have a look at the other two scenarios because I think they're equally important to understand. Okay, so we're going to go with the traditional me. I need to do more of that drill, by the way. That feeling of moving onto it and framing the golf ball, it feels like you've got the ability to do it. Too far back in our stance, work the opposite. I know a lot of people, we move it back to try and find that strike, but it's probably the killing our ability to compress it. It's so nice, that feeling. So nice, that feeling. Before we move on to the other two, if you are enjoying this video, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that big red subscribe button. That's that one down there. And the question for today. What is the best golf course you have ever played in your life? You have to have played it, but what is your best golf course you have ever played? I'd love to know, so smash those comments down below. I mentioned last week one of my top 3, and one that I hadn't mentioned is that I really like, I guess it's not on the open rotor, but it's one of the open qualifying ones, and that's West Lancs. This place, the back nine there, so many people have said it's the best back nine in golf. Big comment, big statement. But what's yours? Okay, so more traditional stance here. This is one where we're going to get a little bit behind it. You're going to see the differences. So ball started a little bit further right. Let's have a look at the screen. Okay, actually, what we're going to do here, we're going to pull up the video. And here, if Alex knows how to do this, and the video on here. Okay, so let's have a look at this. On the way down, look at the differences in these two. I'm going to bring this one back to the same point. Look at the differences between where the middle of the chest is on the left. A lot more behind the middle of the hips. Big difference. Whereas this is a lot more closer together. So that's going to give us the ability to compress the golf ball a lot more. The other, we're going to get a little bit underneath it, not get quite that good a strike. Look at the difference in speed there. Look at the difference in speed there. Found the speed. Speed demon. No, it's not really. Okay, so let's look at the final scenario. And if you are enjoying these videos, I know they're a little bit more depth than usual, but I've got to take advantage of this, right? So this is one that I always see as well, all moving very much together and over the golf ball. I'm going to try and attempt this. This is a bad habit that I've tried to get out of. I've got a lot of bad habits, as you can see. So this is it all moving together in this direction. So all moving ahead of the golf ball, no real separation. This is going to look ugly, this one. So look at this. You're going to see it all move. Look at that. I see this all the time. We've got to hit down on an iron. We've got to get covering the golf ball. Look at this. Our golf ball is somewhere around here. Look how far ahead we are. And that's what I typically see. That trying to get and cover the golf ball, everything moves ahead. What we've got to have is that feeling of lower half start of your head, chest just slightly behind. And that's going to be that feeling. So if I'm talking about feelings and what you can apply to your golf game, right palm, smash it into the shaft. Right palm, smash it into the shaft. It's not no pressure. It's not all the pressure, it's that feeling of being able to put pressure down into the back of the golf ball. Thanks so much for watching today's video, everybody. If you haven't answered that question, do smash that down below. And if you've not joined this team, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. Also, see you on Sunday for another live stream. I really did enjoy that live stream last week. So, we'll do it again.